I met Timothy Miccoli just over a year ago, and he introduced himself three times before the first song, before we finished the first worship song at church, and that's where I met him. And he kept looking over his shoulder at me, and I would going on, and then for a little while, a couple times, try to ignore him, and he's trying to get my attention. I could tell, and he's looking back at me, and finally, like, what's going on? And he says, "What's your name?" I said, "I'm Jose." He said, "Jose, can I borrow a pen?" Like, yeah, I give him a pen. He already has a sheet of paper and begins to write. And in the middle of preaching, he hands me this. It says, "Dear Jose, I'm living in a motel and I got a lot of medical problems. I'm looking for a place to live and looking for a room to rent in Manteca. I got money to rent a room. Will you pray for all the life problems I'm having right now? I would like prayers for me after service. My name is Timothy Miccoli, who just moved to Manteca on March 31st, 2019. I don't have any friends. I don't know anyone in Manteca, and I would love to talk to you soon." And then he left me his phone number. Oh, he was a good guy. So from the first time I met him, he was just genuine. Yeah, I mean, I'm just looking for friends. Just want to meet somebody. These are my needs. These are my health problems. This is who I am. And he just wanted to be a friend. And that's what he became for me. And while he lived in Stockton, I had the opportunity to go and pick him up back and forth from church a couple times during the holidays. And he would he would thank me as soon as we got in the car. "Oh, thank you for picking me up. Oh, you're such a blessing. I appreciate it." "Hey, no problem." Turn the corner, get to the first stoplight. "Hey, thank you for picking me up. It's it's a real blessing." "No problem, man. Happy to do it." Get on the freeway. "Hey, thank you for picking me up." Like, all the way there. It's like every other exit, you thank me. But he was just a genuine, appreciative, thankful guy. And that kind of stuff rubs off on you. I mean, he showed me just about being genuine and really appreciating people for who they are and regardless of what they have to offer, what the world sees that they have to offer. I mean, if you look at him, it doesn't seem like he'd offer much, but he did teach me some things. Just an example. I mean, this guy was like the ultimate greeter. When he shook your hand, it was genuine. Like, he really meant that he was happy to see you. And when he would tell me, "I pray for you every day. I pray for your wife. I pray for your baby. How is your baby? She getting big?" And yeah, man, she's getting big. But I mean, when he would say those things, like, you know he meant it. A lot of times people say stuff like that, like, whatever. They might mean it, they might not. I have no way of knowing. But you know when Timothy would say, "I'm praying for you and I pray for your baby," he's keeping it real. And it taught me to really appreciate who people are and what they have to offer to, despite what other expectations would be about them. And he was a very positive guy. I mean, he had health problems and heart problems and lung problems, but he would always say, "Jesus is going to give me a new kidney. Jesus is going to give me a new heart, and Jesus is going to give me a new lung." And he was out there, man, just on outreach, just being his big-hearted, genuine self, and out there on a summer's day, and suffered from a massive heart attack, and he died just the other day, June 30th, and died for the gospel. First person I know to do it. And I'm going to miss that guy. And I'm going to miss how he would brag about how he was pushing 54, but he didn't have any gray hair. He was still looking good. He still looked young. He still looked young. He still looked good. And he said, my brother, he's almost my age and his hair is all gray, but I don't have any gray hair. And his hair was getting long. And I told him, man, Timothy, before I take you home from church, let me take you back to the house and let me cut your hair. So he was like all excited, like, yeah, yeah. So I take him back and I cut his hair. And I only know how to cut hair one way. Just, I mean, this is it. This is all, you know. And so I cut his hair just like mine. And while I'm cutting his hair, I'm looking at it and I see this like all spray painted red, spray painted brown, like this spray dye. Like, dude, you're over here, Timothy, you're over here bragging about how young you look and how you don't have any gray hair, but you're all spray painted. No, that's just hairspray. No, man, that ain't hairspray. But he really liked his haircut. And he said, man, I can't wait to get back to kidney dialysis. I said, why is that? He said, because when I walk in, they're going to think I'm Tom Cruise. Tom Cruise, boy, look at this guy. He thought somebody would confuse him with Tom Cruise. But that was just his faith, boy. He just had that positivity. And he taught me that. It rubbed off on me, man. Timothy, big heart. I want a big heart like that. And so there's a poem I like to read at times like this. It reminds me. Isn't it strange how princes and kings and clowns that caper in sawdust rings and common people like you and me are builders for eternity? Each is given a list of rules, a shapeless mass, and a bag of tools, and each must fashion, ere life is flown, a stumbling block or a stepping stone. Each one of us, our lives are going to affect somebody. Doesn't matter who you are, where you come from, or what people expect of you. You can affect somebody's life in a negative way or a positive way. It depends on what you do with it. And Timothy, he affected me, man. I want to be genuine like that guy. I want to shake hands like that guy. I want to mean it. I mean, he just loved people. That's why he was out there on outreach. And I want to love people in a better way like that guy. That was a good guy. But I'm going to miss him. I appreciate you.